With Mazinga Z, you can either become a god or a devil. You'll be known as a super being. Now go!
Sinister time, specific the rim, so I live in the mind. Sitting ahead of the shit I design. Position in bed, so I sit and recline. But never I sleep. Tears out the eyes as the weather I weep. Give cheddar to beggars to bed them I keep. Don't turn it back and never retreat. Won't be here forever, we sever, we cease.
What's going on, guys? This is Jaron from WearTesters.com here with a performance review of the Kyrie 1. When I got my first look at the Kyrie 1, I was instantly intrigued by the traction pattern. Not only was it full-length herringbone, but it looked aggressive and dynamic. But at the end of the day, it ended up being a little bit of a disappointment. Unless you're on near perfect court conditions, the Kyrie 1 is going to pick up any dust found on the floor. And since the traction uses a tight pattern, dust can easily get clogged in between these grooves, making wiping a chore that's almost impossible to keep up with. But when you do wipe or have a clean court, the traction holds up perfectly well. But not all of us have the luxury of playing on a perfectly clean court. Outdoors, however, the traction works fine. While it's not extremely durable like an XDR outsole, it isn't pliable enough for me to say not to use these outdoors. The traction does have its perks, such as wrapping up onto the midsole on both the medial and lateral sides. This really helps for those who don't have perfect footwork, as if you land on these areas on normal shoes you might slip all the way through and fall down, but on the Kyrie 1 it's going to keep you on your feet very nicely. Overall, the traction is just too inconsistent to play at a high level. I'm going with the 6-man rating because it gets the job done considering you have a clean court or you're wiping constantly, but if you're playing on a moderately dusty floor, you will be sliding all over the place in these. Moving on to the cushion, you have a 4-foot zoom unit here that provides a little bit of bounce back and responsiveness coupled with great court feel. I have to admit I wasn't expecting much from the 4-foot zoom unit, but I was pleasantly surprised as I felt a little bit of bounce back, but the overall court feel was tremendous in my opinion. Also, the Phylon heel is extremely plush for those high impact landings. As a 4-foot heavy guard, I didn't really get to use the heel as much as I was like, but it's nice that it's there. And the Kyrie 1's cushion setup is serviceable for any type of guard, quick or explosive. If the Kyrie 1 had a full-length zoom setup similar to what we saw in the first Hyper Rev, I would have gave it a starting 5 badge. But as it sits right now, I'm giving it a 6-man bag because you can get a lot more value elsewhere. But don't be discouraged by a 6-man rating because the cushion setup is very serviceable. Like I said, I really like the responsiveness and court feel you get in the 4-foot, and the heel provides great impact protection, and most importantly, my feet didn't hurt at all no matter how hard I played in these at the end of the night. I'd have to admit, when I first saw the Kyrie 1, I was not digging the Hyperfuse material. But as I played in it, I realized that my only real gripe with them is visually. While the upper looks very reminiscent of the first generation of a Hyperfuse, the only plastic underlay that I can find is from the midfoot right around here to about here. In the ankle and 4-foot areas, you have the same neoprene underlay that you can find on the tongue, which is extremely comfortable. This allows the Kyrie 1 to be structurally sound where you need it and give you free range of motion where you want it, which is the 4-foot and ankle area. You have extra external Hyperfuse layers on the eyelets for durability and the toe box for those outdoor toe drags. And like I said, the neoprene underlay in the 4-foot and ankle area is extremely comfortable and well padded, even though it does get soaked from sweat. Overall, the materials on the Kyrie 1 aren't extremely attractive, but they are absolutely functional. The midfoot is structurally sound, and the Hyperfuse layer on the toe box and eyelet provide durability for outdoor ballers, while the neoprene underlay and soft mesh overlay provide flexibility, which translates into comfort. That's enough for me to give this a starting 5 rating because while they don't look great and they're nothing groundbreaking, they're extremely functional, which is really all you can ask for. While my foot is slightly wider than the average person, I would still recommend going up half a size. The midfoot area is extremely tight, and going up half a size for me helped tremendously. But if you can go in store and try on the Kyrie 1, I highly recommend you do so. While there's a little bit of wiggle room in the heel and the 4-foot's a tad bit long, that is to be expected when going up half a size, but these are still not big enough problems to affect the overall fit. In fact, I enjoy the fit quite a lot. As I said earlier, that midfoot is tight, so the lockdown is superb, and the 2-finger strap system on both the lateral and medial side really help keep your foot locked onto the footbed. And while I said the 4-foot is just a little bit long for my liking, if Nike had made a few adjustments in the midfoot area and allowed me to go true to size, this would eliminate this problem. With that being said, the dead space in the 4-foot did not affect the overall performance of the Kyrie Kyrie 1 in my opinion. The excellent midfoot and ankle lockdown prevented my forefoot from using that dead space to slide into the front of the shoe. If I had been able to go true to size, eliminating that length problem, I would have gave the fit a starting 5 badge, but as it sits right now, we're going with a 6-man rating. As mentioned in the fit section, the 2-finger strap system in both the lateral and medial side do its job tremendously. They really keep you on the footbed during those high torque lateral movements. The heel cup does have a little wiggle room, but like I said before, this may not be a problem if you go true to size. And it does an overall good job of keeping your heel from shifting side to side. Also, like I said in the materials section, the midfoot is very supported because it uses that plastic underlay. Also, something that I found very similar to the first Hyper Rev is these little foam half circles you see in the ankle here for added support. It's just something to know. Overall, I never had the feeling of the Kyrie 1 restricting me during play. I was able to move freely without anything bothering me, while at the same time never feeling like I needed more from it. Considering that I had to go half a size up and the Kyrie supported me that well, it's pretty impressive, which is why I'm going with a starting 5 badge. So for people who are expecting a top of the line signature comparable to the Kobe 9 and LeBron 12, that just isn't gonna happen for a number of reasons. First of all, the Kyrie 1 retails for $120, while the LeBron and Kobe both retail for $150 plus. Naturally, the Kyrie 1's tech isn't gonna be comparable with said models. What I will say though is the Kyrie 1 does perform better than the KD 1 through 4 in my opinion, and maybe the 5. It's an overall solid shoe that provides value for its price. The cushion setup is ideal for forefoot heavy guards, but if you do need impact protection, you're gonna get that as well with the Phylon heel setup. Sure, the fit does need a little bit of work, but by me going up half a size, all my problems were virtually fixed. And the 2 problems that I did get by going up half a size, which were that forefoot length and that heel wiggle room, didn't affect the overall performance of the Kyrie 1. It is a little disappointing that the traction is somewhat of a letdown and is definitely more irritating than consistent. But with that being said, the Kyrie 1 is still a solid on-court performer. You can check out the purchase links in the description below, and if you have any questions concerning this model, please let me know in the comment section. I will be more than happy to answer. Anyways, I hope this performance review helped you guys out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
And the verdict is...